Can Ubisoft possibly take more L's? Every week that goes by and one of these shows up, I'm just beside myself laughing because I can't believe this company just keeps screwing up over and over and over again, and yet they keep doing it. But that's what the woke do. They'll never learn until they just close their doors and are out of business, or somebody else buys the company and retools it. And that's exactly what's going to be happening here. We're going to get into the news today as to what's happening with Ubisoft. Smash that like and subscribe button, everybody. I appreciate you all for being here. What a wonderful week. Couldn't happen to a nicer company, and we're having so much fun in video games. I am a content creator myself. I write comics and novels, and if you would go to the description below kindly and sign up for my newsletter, I actually give away 2 books and a graphic novel, a full graphic novel, which is Flying Sparks Volume 1, that sets up the beginning of my superhero universe. Check it out. This is a lot of fun. If you're a reader, you'll love this, and it's free, so what can you lose? Grab this today. Thank you guys so much for being there. There's lots of ways to support the channel, Amazon links and the like as well, and it's been an amazing, amazing couple of months because of you. And these are the type of people that the video game industry doesn't want for whatever reason. You're loyal people, you're customers, you like entertainment, you have fun, you don't want woke crap, and they'd rather just call you bigots and all that than actually have you purchase their games, which is fine, right? I'm happy. It's saving my wallet a lot of money not buying these AAA games in any of these collector's editions that I used to buy. It's been nice. Thank you guys for helping my bank account, Ubisoft. But now Baldur's Gate 3's developer is blasting Ubisoft's sales strategy because not only do they attack gamers on the personal level and insult our intelligences with these woke concepts that they come out with, they're anti-consumer in every single way. And this is the case with Sony and the like. They're trying to get you all into these like little systems where they just don't want you to own anything that you've actually purchased. And this is pretty crazy. So Michael Dowse, the director of publishing for Baldur's Gate 3, and his developer Larian Studios, blasted Ubisoft in the wake of a number of blunders, including the Prince of Persia Last Crown, which is rumored to have seen its developer team disbanded after not meeting sales expectations. That's another one, another property that Ubisoft's killed from their mismanagement over the last couple of days. And if you missed that, it looks like that Prince of Persia studio is gone. And that's happening. We're going to see more and more of that at Ubisoft over the next couple of months because of the failure of Star Wars Outlaws, which needed to make a lot of money to break even. Because of the failure of Assassin's Creed Shadows, they're looking to cut corners everywhere, which is, of course, the worst possible thing they could do at this juncture. But they've got no choice because they're not making money. So it was rumored earlier this week that Ubisoft disbanded its team at Ubisoft Montpellier that worked on Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. The rumor originated from French YouTube channel Origami, whose host declared, "In recent days, Ubisoft Montpellier, we are transporting boxes from one floor to another, and it's quite a symbol because it is that of disillusion, not announced to the public, but completed of the team of Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown." Now, this is in the wake of strikes happening in France and their stock collapsing, people living in abject fear at the company because of the Assassin's Creed debacle that's happening. And that's exactly why Assassin's Creed Shadows has been delayed to what they say is February. But that's just a placeholder from what I'm told from my insiders at Ubisoft, that it's going to be delayed much longer than that. They're completely retooling the game, as they should, to be honest. I just don't have the faith that they're going to do it correctly. But we'll see what happens on that level. He went on to share that the decision to disband the team was made shortly after the game released at the beginning of the year. It was released January 18th, 2024 on Nintendo Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation. He said, "It is clear in the spring, a few patches, downloadable content, we are packing up." Not a good sign for Prince of Persia whatsoever. While Ubisoft management had made the decision to move on from the game shortly after it was released, the host claimed that some members of the core development team fought for 2 DLCs in an attempt to change the minds of management. However, Ubisoft management were unconvinced, especially given the game's sales were below expectations. Instead, they wanted to reallocate the team to potentially more lucrative projects. Furthermore, the team was told if they were to release a sequel, it could cannibalize long-term sales of the first game. Oops. In reaction to coverage of the team allegedly being disbanded from PC by PC Gamer, Douse shared his opinion on X, which is very interesting here. So here it is. The last notable game on their platform was arguably Far Cry 6 from 2021, and that's true. If you just look at how bad everything's been from Ubisoft, it's been failure after failure for 3 full years, and it's just been getting worse as the DEI content goes through. Because if you guys don't know how these AAA games work, they take like 3, 4, 5 years to develop. So everything that's hitting now with Star Wars Outlaws and the Space Karen, the Black Samurai, the LGBTQ propping up of all that propaganda into the games, all of this stuff is happening that started development back in 2020 and 2021. As we've talked about Ghost of Yotai here on the channel, that game was originally meant to be a direct Ghost of Tsushima sequel, and because of that period of time, that's when things actually just started trickling in for the studio over there to say that they wanted to build a sequel that's going to have a female lead instead. And so this stuff takes this long to develop, and as they had failures even prior to like the giant woke takeover of the industry, it's only compounding even worse now. The Crew, Mirage, and Avatar came out in 2023, didn't perform, so you can assume subscriptions were at a lull when POP was released by 2024, which means people wouldn't be launching their store all too much. If it had released on Steam, not only would it have been a market success, but there would have likely been a sequel because the team are so strong. It's such a broken strategy. The hardest thing is to make an 85-plus game. It's much, much easier to release one. It just shouldn't be done as it was. Ridiculous that this happened this way. And you can see just the business decisions are a disaster at this level. He next torched Ubisoft, specifically the company's director of subscriptions, Philippe Trenbre, for his comments back in January where he said gamers need to get comfortable not owning their own games. If the statement gamers should get used to not owning their own games, gosh, I remember when this came out. It feels like forever internet time, doesn't it, guys? My gosh, it's like February is like the ice ages at this point. Is true because the specific release strategy, sub above sales, and he's talking about the subscription models for season passes and downloadable content and the like. And then take the statement, developers must get used to not having jobs if they make a critically acclaimed game. Platform strategy above title sales. It is also true that it just isn't sensible even from a business perspective. And yes, nothing Ubisoft's done from a business perspective makes much sense whatsoever. They just have been making decisions that seem to just be anti-gamer, anti-consumer, and that's just anti their employees at the end of the day. And so you can't just like feel bad for these people when they're in this and they're going through these things with these terrible strategies. It's just like something to laugh at, as everything they've done has been just a bad model. While his torching of Ubisoft rings true, his observation that Ubisoft Plus was not likely seeing the numbers of players necessary to float Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, the fact that it would release on Steam would not necessarily make it a market success. In fact, the game released on Steam in August and still appears to be struggling. His game hit a peak current players of 1,446 when it released on Steam. In the past 24 hours, it hit a peak concurrent of just 119 players. Furthermore, the game is ranked at 1,400 on the Steam top sellers list, so not really doing all that well. But at the same time, Ubisoft really did not market this game and did not market well that it was coming out on Steam. I didn't even know that it was coming out on Steam at the time, and that's a bad thing for Ubisoft to do given the channel's content here. But yes, so I think it is part of the strategy that they wanted them on Ubisoft Plus so that they didn't actually market things, and that caused a little bit of a failure when it did come out late on Steam. He's no stranger to criticizing Ubisoft. Back in August, he of course criticized them on Star Wars Outlaws as well. He says, I don't love the artificiality of pricing structures post-retail. Use inflated base price to upsell a subscription, and then vague content promises to inflate Ultimate Editions, and then to make the base price look better. It all seems dangerous and disconnected from the community, and it absolutely is. Again, everything Ubisoft does seems to be anti-consumer, trying to squeeze out people like pay pigs rather than actually trying to provide people with quality gaming content, and that's mainly a lot of the problem here. I mean, even the Star Wars Outlaws design flaws aside, if it was priced reasonably, if it was normal, it still probably would have done a little bit better than the fact that they just like really just pushed this Ultimate Edition. And if you remember back in the day, if you got your early access and were playing for hours and hours and hours, the patch that came through made you lose your game and start over. So everybody who did it for that early access actually got screwed in the process on that level too. Ubisoft screws people screws gamers every single time, and then they attack gamers on the back end. It just seems like a losing strategy. Hilarious L for Ubisoft once again, guys. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit that like and subscribe button. Please do sign up for my newsletter in the subscription below. Read our books, support the channel. Appreciate you guys for being here.